Willpower or higher power? Which one is going to help me get what I want, what I really want? This is Beth Wee in the Koinonia Kitchen, and I got to tell you that I have done a lot of things in my life based on my willpower. I just forced myself to do it. Most of the things I didn't even want to do. I just forced myself to do it. And I rated myself by if I got it done, if I accomplished enough, if I ticked off the list and I made everything right. Willpower. What about won't power? I have won't power too. I won't. Every once in a while I get rebellious. I just rebel, not because I really want to be against whatever I'm rebelling against. I just want to rebel. I just don't want to play by the rules. I just don't want to color inside the lines. I want to just rebel. It's an act of defiance, I guess. And somehow that won't power is tied to willpower. They're both from my ego. They're both fake. They both make me do things that might not have anything to do with who I really am, if you could get down to the heart of it. So willpower versus my higher power. It's an interesting question, because my willpower tends to be about my will. My will, not God's will. So get off my back. I don't want to talk about God's will. I want my will. I want the Frank Sinatra song blasting. I want everybody at the end to know I did it my way. Okay. And then I think of the other phrases, my way or the highway. These are all willpower things. These are all my way. This is all my will run riot. So willpower versus higher power. Higher power means I'm at a different level than I can get with my own power. Or it wouldn't be higher, right? I mean, that just makes sense. A higher power is higher than the way I think. A higher power is going to take me to new heights, to new vistas. I'm going to get higher up the mountain. I'm going to see new things. I'm going to understand in a new way. But the hard part is to bend my will to His will, to bend my will to God's will. I've thought a lot about submission. Submission, I'm still in my own will and I'm fighting it. I'm fighting God's will. I'm in my own will, but I'm doing God's will, but I'm not happy about it. And it's a chore. I'm like doing it, but I'm doing it with a grimace on my face. And usually I end up with a little bit of resentment or bad feelings at the end of it when I submit to God's will. But when I surrender to God's will, when I choose higher power instead of willpower, when I choose higher power and I surrender, I'm in His will. And suddenly I'm just doing it as a way of life. It just kind of rolls off it just rolls off my tongue or rolls off my arms because I'm just doing what He suggests and I'm just doing it joyfully. Why? How did joy get in there? I went from resentment to joy. I went from a chore to a way of life. All that from differentiating between willpower and higher power. So I guess in the end, in the long run, and sometimes I have to go through it and then look back to see how I've grown. But when I've grown by doing higher power's will instead of my will, my life is better. People like to be around me. My family loves me. And you know what's really strange? I may not accomplish as much, but what I accomplish impacts the world so much more. Willpower versus higher power? I'm going to go with higher power. Thanks. It's time to take addiction out of the shadows and shine the encouraging light of recovery on everyone affected. Good Seed Podcast is powered by BethWE.com, a nonprofit ministry based in Vero Beach, Florida. We'll start the uncomfortable conversations that turn despair into hope and complacency into action. Connect, communicate, and thrive with us. Check us out online at BethWE.com. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk again soon.